Hey, welcome back to From Scratch Ranch. In today's video, we're going to talk about wood processing, our wood processing needs out here at the homestead. From firewood to saw logs. Yes, saw logs. I've got a Wood-Mizer LX25 hobby mill to mill my own lumber and wood for a horse barn and fencing and whatnot. So I've got that coming. Pretty excited about that. And also the chipper. I got a lot of wood to chip up, mulch. So from the cedar for the trails and different things, and hardwoods for the gardens and around the trees. We've got all of these wood processing needs that we need to take care of, and we need a place to do it all. So right here on this tree line here, where I've been kind of storing all the wood for now, is where we're gonna build out what I'm gonna call Arkansas Your Station, based around our sawmill. And this is located right along the tree line, but there's the barn dominium over there. And then we've got some horse pastures, and we got the round pen right here, and the main horse pasture over there in the shelter. We're gonna eventually put our horse barn right here. And so this is good proximity to the barn, where I'm gonna bring water and electricity down. So I'll be able to extend that out here to the sawmill area. And then this is also kind of a hill right here. So I can be able to bring my tractor and kind of roll those logs right onto the bunks for the sawmill there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the sawmill right over here in this big area. So we got some really big trees, some really big post oaks, white oaks, even some black walnuts. Along the trail there's a trail that goes right along parallel to this tree line just inside the woods. So there's a bit of a pasture extension from this barbed wire fence here. And we're gonna pull that barbed wire fence out, open this back up, clean out some of the scrub. And this is where I'm gonna build my sawyer station here. So it's gonna be a shed for the sawmill on that side, another shed for drying the boards. Over here will be where I offload all my scraps and cut those up into firewood. And then over here will be our firewood drying station and splitting log station and our mulching station. So all along here will be all wood processing, and super important to have all that out here at the ranch. I answered an ad in Facebook Marketplace for free firewood. So I went into town, it wasn't too far, and with my trailer, and I picked up a ton of wood. Why? Well, I need firewood for heat. And instead of harvesting from my own woods, and when I got to go deep into the woods and get it out, well, I was able to pull up to this guy's house and just load it up on my trailer and bring it here. And I can process it. So I've got all that. Plus, it was oak, and I need saw logs. So we've got a sawmill on the way. And with lumber prices the way they are right now, it was perfect timing. It took 6 months on back order to get it made, and it's gonna be here really, really soon. So I also got these saw logs. This is all oak, this is post oak. And I'm not gonna build my house with this lumber, but I'm gonna build my horse barn, outbuildings, horse fencing, stuff like that. So I'm gonna saw this oak up, this post oak, really tough stuff, into boards for the horse barn and for some fencing. So I've got lots and lots of work to do here. So I've got all of these saw logs. I've got my stumps that I'm gonna split for firewood. I've got all of these logs over here from the limbs that I've cut out for firewood. Maybe some of these straighter, shorter ones, I'll even saw those into some lumber. And then all this wood over here to process. Some of it probably in the mulcher, the chipper, so I can get some nice oak mulch. But the rest of it, all firewood split for this winter's heating.
I drove around all across the
So I had 5 post oaks to pick up, and this is the saw logs of that. Some of them are huge. I mean, they're 22 to 26 inches. The LX25 can handle up to a 27-inch log. Some of them are a little bit bigger, like this one here, but I'll be able to cut that down and get it on that sawmill. I've got my chainsaw mill I can use to get the initial cuts done. I also picked up all of, I mean, this is it, 4 or 5 trees, post oaks. This is all the remnants of it. I didn't pick up any of the brush, the limbs with all of the branches with all of the leaves on them. But I picked up all of these logs here and all of this over here with many trips with my trailer. So I've got some work to do. I've got some wood processing to get done.
The city life and the crazy nights. Figure I should probably give it a try. Maybe check it out, see what it's all about. But the traffic was fast and the money was slow. The people I met you never get to know. I kind of miss this place I used to live back home. 'Cause up here it's breakneck, paycheck, rat race. What's next? I'm tired of feeling like a small fish in a big pond. I think I'll go back where I came from, where everybody knows my name. My friends are still the same. I guess the slow life is just right, like a bonfire on a cold night. Hell, and you can keep your 9 to 5. Happy with the simple life. Yeah, I ain't here to try to change your mind. Trying to save your time, in case you're thinking about breaking out the bucket list. Girl, you can skip this funny business. 'Cause up there it's complicated and overrated. Down here everything is understated. That's alright by me. I got everything that I need.
My mom and my sister helping get firewood processed. Yes, we got it. Look at this. That's a lot of firewood stacked. You guys still have a lot more to go though.
I'm happy with the simple life. Tired of feeling like a small fish in a big pond. I think I'll go back where I came from, where everybody knew my name, and all my friends are still the same. I guess the slow life hit me just right, like a bonfire on a cold night. Hell, you can keep your 9 to 5, 'cause I'm happy with the simple life.
It's kind of cool, like a puzzle, you know?
Keep your 9 to 5.
We've got a ton of cedar trees down here. I mean, check this out. Here's some right here along the trail. I'm coming into the trail here. You know that this was, you know, down across the trail here. So there's a good size one there. That's, you know, a good 12 inches at the base down there. And then another one. This one's even bigger. I mean, that's got to be, you know, a good 20 feet long. And see at the base here, you know, good 15, 16 inches wide there. So that's a pretty good size, you know, cedar that I can mill out. But I have tons of them. Like here's one right here. Now, some of these, you know, close to the trail that are still alive and growing, I'm not gonna, you know, take those down. But deep into the woods, I've got a ton of these things. Look at how big this one is here. So pretty exciting that I've got a lot of this that's ready to be harvested down there in the woods. That I'm gonna have to actually build some trails to get down there and get the tractor down there so I can haul them all up. But I mean, that's a lot of free cedar that I can mill up that I'm pretty excited about. So if you remember, or if you haven't seen it yet, check out the video link above for when I chainsaw milled my own cedar mantle for our wood burning fireplace. And I pulled out of the woods here. It was stormed down right off the woods here. Pretty big piece. I hauled that out here and used my chainsaw and milled that up using that. Now that's okay for small projects like that, but if I'm gonna be milling like decking boards for my huge deck, I'm gonna have a big wraparound deck here on the house, I'm gonna need a little bit more horsepower for that. Now we're going down the trail here and we're just right on the inside of that tree line. And there's a T-post there. There's no wire to that one. I think over here, there's a T-post in the bottom of this cedar tree here that the wire terminates there, the barbed wire, that I need to cut that, get that T-post out. And then there's actually a really old fence right here. So you can see this wire fence here, some barbed wire and this old field fencing here that's actually grown through the tree, this persimmon here. So we got a lot of that I want to get removed and cut out. But that used to be the old pasture line there. And you can see that since that fence has been put up here, a lot of trees have kind of grown in on the other side, and that's why they put the other fence right along there on the other side of that tree line. And that's the one I want to remove. There's a T-post right in there. I'm going to have to get deep in these trees and get all that cut out. But here's the trail that I was talking about. So we got this great trail that comes right behind the tree line here. One of many trails to come as we cut trails through our property. Okay, so there's the ICB crates. So that's going to be where our firewood station is going to be. And then down over here, we're on the back side now, is where the sawmill is going to go. So right in that big open area right there. So you can see from this angle that that's a pretty good spot. Right there. There's an old fieldstone wall here too. So just beyond that, this was the old edge of the pasture. You know, so that is kind of being unused right now. So I'm gonna clear all this out of here, this grass, clear out some of these lower branches of this hickory here and that post oak over there. And here's a post oak right here. So I'll get rid of all that and get that fencing out of there. So I've got this full area right here that I can use for set my sawmill up. All right, so that first T-post I've got, I'm on the other side now. I came out from the trail and I'm on the pasture side. And that first T-post is in this mess of cedar right here. One of the problems I have is along this tree line, it's just overgrown. It is really, really overgrown, and I need to lift all this up out of here and get a little bit more manicured and look better, and I can see into my woods. One of the reasons I want to clean this up and lift all these branches up, cut us all out, is it's strangling some of the really good trees. So you can see these cedars are growing in amongst that, like this black oak right here. I've got this giant black oak. Let's get a closer look. I mean, look at that black oak there. I mean, it's a beautiful tree, but it's being strangled by all of these cedars. And it doesn't look so healthy. I have a black walnut way over there, a giant black walnut that was being strangled by a cedar tree that I cut out a year or plus ago, and that tree is looking really good now. But you can see some of these leaves are just not looking good. I think the tree is not looking too healthy because it is being strangled. Oh yeah, look at that. I'd open that up nice. That's gonna look great. Now you can see the trail back in there. This is cool, just being able to walk in here like this now. Check that out right there. That is an old fence post. Really old fence post. It's even got the staples in it. That's rotted away. That's, yeah, this is where the path used to end right here, and this is where the fencing all was. Pull us out of here and see what we got. The only bad thing about this is that it's creating for me a lot more work now to have to clean all this up. But I guess that's the point. What I'll do is I'll store all of this branch stuff off near my chipper, let it dry out for a few months before I go and chip it. So all these needles don't clog up my chipper. These cedar needles tend to want to do that. Yep. That's it. See how this has really pushed this down, stretching it. Gotta get that all entangled. Hey, look at this. Yeah, this was a good decision to clean this all up out of this lower level. Look at this. This is a black oak. Oh. Look how giant this black oak is. Being strangled by that cedar down there. Oh, yeah. It's all up intertwined.
Yeah. It needs a lot of cleaning up, that's for sure.
Yep. And then see, here's the old fence. Or this isn't even the old fence. That's the new fence. That's old. But the old fence was along this tree line here. And this was standing. I knocked it over, but this is an old wood post. It's even got the staples in it. That's the really old fence. But some of it's still intact down there, that ag fence. That's, you know, the wire fence. So what's interesting about this, here's that barbed wire fence. Here's that other ag fence from a very long time ago. So you can see Mother Nature is trying to reclaim what was taken from her. And then the next generation, you know, put it out here because Mother Nature was reclaiming it. And then now it's even grown further. So like my generation coming in, you know, would have looked at this and just put a fence right on the outside of that woods, and it would continue to eat away at what was cleared to begin with. Now, obviously humans took it away from Mother Nature to begin with, and she's just taking it back. But this is interesting to see the different generations of fencing. Okay, now that I got a lot of this cleared out, I still got some more cleanup to do, but at least I've got this first post exposed, and I've got the wire. And the reason I wanted to expose this one is because I want to keep this. I don't want to just cut it and throw it out. I'm going to roll this up and keep it. So I want to take it apart. Okay, so now I've cleared all this out, but I'm not going to clear the rest of this out. I think it's open enough where I can get in there and just kind of work it and wind this up, even if I got to come into the trees a little bit. It's a long way and I don't have that much time. I want to get working on the sawmill. I don't want to be trimming trees for weeks on end. I'll do that as I need to, but here I am seeing out the next T-post, so I can undo this and continue on. And I'll just keep going until I get past that area I want to clear for the sawmill. And then I'll come back and, you know, work the trees and landscaping, you know, later as I've got time. Well, even for a newer-ish fence, it's still being eaten by the tree here. I'm not sure if I can get that out. Oh yeah, it's stapled in. Shoot, I might have to cut this. I'm gonna have to cut it. All right, finally got all of the barbed wire removed, all 4 strands. It was a lot of work, a lot longer than I thought it would take me to do, but got it done. So now I got to remove all of the T-posts. Not too many of them, easy to pull out with the tractor. So we'll do that now.